Look at that. Real Canadian poutine. Homemade curds, homemade chips, fresh gravy. What more could you want? Come on. Hi everyone, welcome to Backyard Chef. I'm Rick. Today we're making poutine. Canadian poutine all the way from Quebec. Now I say Quebec, you might say Quebec. Okay, we're making Canadian poutine and we are making it with fresh curd. Fresh curd we made the other day, and there's a link up here now if you want to make it. All we've done with this to make it into good solid curd, we've squashed it. That's all there is to it. Okay, so it's been squashed. The majority of people who make poutine make it with bought packets of curd and they haven't got a clue how to make curd. So it might be advantageous to go watch that video even if you still buy it from the shop. So what's poutine? Poutine is basically chips and gravy with some cheese curd. That's it in a nutshell. Restaurants kick out frozen chips or fries just for ease and convenience. They aren't peeling and cooking potatoes like we will do right now, and they're not using, the majority are not using homemade fresh cheese curd. They're buying it in a packet, and so is everybody else that makes it. They go to the supermarket, get some fries, mix up some gravy, chuck some store-bought cheese curd in, and they say they've made real poutine. Okay, we've got fresh cheese curd, we've got potatoes, we're going to mix up some gravy, we're going to bring it all together and make real poutine, the Canadian national chip dish. So let's crack on and do it. Potatoes then, I'm calling these no-name potatoes because I use potatoes with no name. I have no interest in looking for potatoes for a particular thing. They all chip, they all mash, some better than others. So I've got some potatoes here. We're going to peel them. I've washed them already. We're going to peel them and we're going to chip them. So come on, you all know how to peel a potato. You either use a potato peeler or use a knife. It's entirely up to you. Nothing hard about this. This first stage, everybody can do this. Not a problem. Okay, we got a bowl with some water. Just put your potatoes in there. Stop them from going brown. Some of the starch will come off as well. And just carry on until you've got as many potatoes as you want to chip. As easy as that. Okay, we want to be chipping some of our potatoes. Now, do you want them perfectly square? That's entirely up to you. Right, here's a tip. I keep seeing people turning the potato on its side and cutting all the way along and then chipping. Well, why don't you take the end off and then the potato lies flat? And then it's just so much easier than juggling a potato that's going to go all over the place, you know. And then we want to be chipping up as big or as small as you like. Entirely up to you. And shove them back in that bowl of water. I mean, come on, who's going to try and juggle a potato that wobbles? Common sense. Just give them a little stir around in there take some of that starch off, and then we're going to drain these, because obviously we can't add wet potato chips to hot oil. It's going to go everywhere. And you can see some of that starch in there. That's enough. We want to be draining those. Okay, they're dry enough for frying. First job for us then, we want to be making a gravy. A gravy we want to eat. So in there, some butter. That'll do. On with the flame. Warm up your butter. And we're going to chuck some flour in. Now use any gravy, granules, powder, cube, anything you like. That's up to you. This is a couple of oxos in here. Now with your gravy as well, you know, there's no hard and fast rules to make a gravy. You know, come on. If you want to put onions in there and garlic in there, herbs in there, put it in. It's your gravy. Right, we're going in there with a good amount of flour. About the same as the butter. Just give it a little stir around. Now we want to cook it, but we don't want to brown it off too much, you know. We want to take out that little bit of a rawness from there. Give it a little bit of a steady cooking. And then we're going in with our gravy. Our gravy cubes. Oh, not quite dissolved there, look. Now you can season your gravy as much as you like. You know, put salt, pepper in, put herbs in. Entirely up to you. Just give yourself a... Just cook it a little bit so it thickens up with that flour in there. It won't take too long. You know, and you can actually put corn flour in if you want to thicken it up really quickly. No stress on that one. You know, some people like a real gloopy gravy over the chips. I like a little bit of running but thick, you know. Also, what I will say about the gravy for poutine, some people mix a couple of cups of beef stock or beef gravy with a cup of chicken stock. Why they do that is beyond me, but they do. They must like the flavour of MSG in chicken stock or a stock cube, or they just don't like the full flavour of a beef gravy. I have no idea, but they do. Or did it come about from someone didn't have enough beef gravy and they chucked the chicken stock in? That would be interesting to know, because that's how these recipes all come around. Just going to hit that up with a little bit of pepper. Get a nice peppery flavour in there. That's just my preference, you know. You don't have to put pepper in. There we go. That is good enough for our gravy. So bob our oil on to heat up. Now we are going to cook this 2 stages. We're going to cook it, blanch it very quickly, take out the chips, and then we're going to put them back in to refry. Meanwhile, while that's heating up, for the people that have never seen fresh curds before, here you go. And when you see poutine made, it has these tiny little squares in there like that. And we got these fantastic, squeaky on the teeth, fresh curds. Delicious. Okay, and when you think you've got your oil hot enough, in with some chips. Now we're blanch frying these to start off with, so this doesn't have to be too hot. And we might have to do this in batches. Not to worry. Right, when we've done these chips, When we've blanched these chips, they are going on this rack over this tray. That will give them time to drip off a little bit in there, and then we can heat the oil up before we refry. Now, a lot of people put it on kitchen towel, but you know, your chips are going to be soggy. They steam. Don't forget the potatoes. Potatoes have got all that moisture in. You cover them up with kitchen towel and they steam. So we're just going to blanch these till we get a tiny little bit of colour around the outside. Okay, they're blanched enough. Well, let's have those out of there. I'm going to have these out and we're going to put them on our rack. And then they will go back in when we turn up the heat. We just blanched those other ones first. In we go. Get them all blanched. Okay, come on. Let's take those out and turn up the heat and get them all back in. That should about do it, I reckon. Nice and gently reintroduce your chips and let's get them fried off till crispy. Nice and gently, just give them a little shufty about. We don't want them stick together. Oh, we're getting a little bit of colour on there now, look. Fantastic. Just keep them going. Brown them as much as you like. So when you've got your chips just how you like them. Now I like mine like this. And you can hear the crunch on there. Give them a little drain off like that. And then in your dish. Or tray, whatever you're using. Listen to that. Now here's the thing with chips, when they come out, that's the time to season. Now you season as much salt as you want. And just listen to those. Now, tip is, don't pile them all on top of each other, they will steam. Oh, don't you love fresh chips? Oh, come on, let's plate up. Oh, listen to those hit the plate. Oh, come on. Okay, now here's a tip with making anything like this. Chips are going to go soggy with gravy. They have to. So pile them up and push them to the side. Those chips are going to stay reasonably crunchy. Easily stay reasonably crunchy. And this lot are definitely going to go soft and soggy with that gravy. Oh, come on. Get that on there. Real fresh curds. Oh man. Now that looks a bit special. Look at that. Real Canadian poutine. Homemade curds, homemade chips, fresh gravy. What more could you want? Come on. Oh man. I've got to go for the crunchy outside chips. Oh come on, fresh curd, gravy, chips. I've got to get in here. Come on. Get that fresh curd, fresh chips, gravy. Real quality poutine. Oh man, that is awesome. Now unfortunately this is one of those dishes for me where I'm just going to sit and eat the whole lot. I love it, absolutely love it. Brought up on chips and gravy and curd. Oh come on, that is a fantastic plateful right there. So for all those people that have never seen real curd before, or homemade curd, chips and poutine, here we are. So don't forget, share with your friends. Tell everybody about this Englishman making poutine. I'm sure it's going to cause an international incident, but that is Canadian poutine made. Fantastic version, originally from Quebec in Canada. If you like what we're doing, big thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel, ring that bell. Catch you in the next video.